What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a new episode of The Morning Segment. That's right, it has been a while since I've done one of those. I figured since we are in the Scream season, Cinetober, which I said I was going to be tackling Resident Evil. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to Raccoon City because I just decided, you know what, let's tackle the Resident Evil franchise because we are getting the remake of the Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City. I gotta look the part, you know. As you all know, I am a humongous Resident Evil fan. I have beaten the remake of the first game at least maybe 10 to 20 times. I have Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, Resident Evil 4. The very first game I actually ever played was Resident Evil 5, and I do have one of the Paul W.S. Anderson movies, Resident Evil Afterlife. I have reviewed that movie before, but I am going to go back and re-review the movies. But I just really wanted to touch on the remake itself. Now, I have been adamant about a remake for a long time. Shoot, I honestly even wondered, shoot, if they want to make a good Resident Evil movie, why not they just keep making the animated movies, but actually make the animated movies about the games. But we are getting a new Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City. And I cannot tell you how pumped I am for this, but after seeing the trailer, I do kind of have some issues. Now, if any of you have not seen the trailer, I suggest you go watch it, but only two problems I have with this movie so far is one, the CG is awful. The CG on the dogs looks terrible, and one of the monsters looks just horrendous. I'm really hoping that they fix this. But why don't they just do something that the Paul W.S. Anderson movies did and actually go and use real dogs? From the first movie. The first movie they used real dogs, and in the second one. But use real dogs. What they did with the makeup with the dogs was great. Now, one thing I am very excited about with this movie, if any of you have not played the remake, I strongly recommend that you go play the remake. They are actually going to be introducing a character from the remake known as Lisa Trevor, who's actually one of the most tragic backstories I've ever came across, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with her. I'm just excited that we're getting like two locations. This is going to be a combination of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 combined. And we're going to have like two stories back to back. I don't know if it's going to be going through at the same time. You know, like you've got the mansion over here. And that's like the one thing I'm so excited about is we're actually going to be seeing a movie version of the Arkley Mansion. That is one thing I have been wanting to see ever since I started playing the games, was I really want to see a movie of this mansion, and we have never got it. I love the remake of the first and the second one, and we're going to be getting the police station. We're getting the characters of Claire. It really kind of seems like this movie is going to be like her film. This is going to be her as the main character, you know, like with there's like, you know, like this conspiracy that she's been doing for years, and everybody's like, okay, you've been doing this ever since you were little. Why don't you just stop? You've not proved anything. And it seems like she is going to be the driving force. Now, I really hope Jill is a main character as well. Now, I do actually not mind the differences on how they've changed the characters to look. I really don't mind. I like that we're getting somebody from Victorious who is playing the role of Leon S. Kennedy. Now, I cannot remember if it is Beck or if it's Robbie. I think it might be Robbie, but if it's Beck, that's awesome. He was one of my favorite actors from the show Victorious. I don't mind how they have Wesker. Now, I know a lot of people are upset, well, he doesn't have the glasses on. Okay, first of all, you can't see anything when you are wearing sunglasses at night. Maybe he'll put the shades on, like, later in the movie, but, like, we're getting stuff from Resident Evil games, you know, we're getting the monsters. We got the zombie head turn. We got the mansion exploding. You know, we've got... It really seems like the person who is making this movie is a fan of the games and is really trying to give the fans what they want. Now, like I said, the CGI is not really that good, and I do not like the Licker's. The Licker's brains are too big. Like, the Licker's brains are, like, just sticking out too far, and it kind of looks like he's just wearing, like, the monster's just wearing, like, this wig. So, those are really the only problems that I have with it, and we're getting, like, one of my favorite cop actors. I cannot remember his name to save my life right now, but he played in Grounded for Life, he played the dad Sean, and he played in the first Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage, Johnny Blaze's best friend. He also played in one of my favorite sitcoms, Grounded for Life. Like I said, he played the dad Sean, and he also played in a couple episodes of Law & Order SVU. I cannot remember this guy's name to save my life, but he's one of my favorite cop actors. I think he's going to do great in this movie. You know, like, we're getting the police department, we're getting the parking garage. You know, I really feel like this is going to be a fun movie. Cannot be any worse than any of the Resident Evil movies that we got from Paul W.S. Anderson, which I'm going to tackle. But guys, I am excited about this. I'm going to keep continuing to tackle the Resident Evil movies this season. This might spread over into November, and if it does, hey, that's perfect, because that's when the Resident Evil movie comes out. This movie is coming out next month, and I cannot wait, guys. Put in the comments below, have you seen the Resident Evil remake trailer? I want to know. What did you think about it? What are you most excited for, and what are you the least excited for? Do not forget to elbow drop that like button, guys, and I'll see you next time for another exciting episode of Senatover. Bye, guys.